This week, we celebrate the continuing crumbling of the Confederacy, a true Christmas gift. Though of course the fight isn't over. It should be, but more blood is called for. More families to have an empty seat at their holiday tables. What a joyous time. Savannah, Sherman parades around the area, a great prize, and eagerly awaits a reply from Lincoln. His Christmas gift was well received.
Many thanks for your Christmas gift, the capture of Savannah. When you were about leaving Atlanta for the Atlantic coast, I was anxious, if not fearful. Feeling that you were the better judge, and remembering that nothing risked, nothing gained, I did not interfere. Now the undertaking being a success, the honor is yours. For I believe none of us went further than to acquiesce, and taking the work of General Thomas into the account, as it should be taken, is indeed a great success. Not only does it afford the obvious and immediate military advantages, but in showing to the world that your army could be divided, putting the stronger part to an important new service, and yet leaving enough to vanquish the old opposing force of the whole Hood's army, that brings those who sat in darkness to see a great light. But what next? So it will be safer if I leave General Grant and yourself to decide. Please make my grateful acknowledgment to your whole army, officers and men.
Sherman spends the week basking in praise and victory, even putting down rumors of dubious reliability about a potential promotion to lieutenant general, an equal to Grant.
I will accept no commission that would tend to create a rivalry with Grant.
Of course, this is only after Grant had surrendered to Sherman's reinforcement at Petersburg and allowed Tecumseh to continue on to the Carolinas. The Union loves him, now to make the public love him. He opens the food markets and gives protection to the citizens of Savannah, turned back some of his reputation lost during his burning of Georgia. He also granted specific protection to the wives and families of Confederate commanders. I would normally comment on the fact that families are so close to the combat to fall into federal capture. But at this point, the rebellion is running out of areas safe from Union reach. He even allows people to pray for Jefferson Davis.
Yes, Jeff Davis and the devil both need it.
Good one, William. Moving to Mississippi, we return to the Vicksburg veteran Benjamin Grierson, who raids the area to deny resupply to Hood's retreating army. This is successful, and at Egypt's Station, not the Paul McCartney album, he whips the Confederate cavalry. Finally, the Vicksburg graduate himself, Grant, who is still just sitting around at Petersburg, waiting for reports from Butler. Let's see how the beast is doing. At midnight on the 23rd, his attempt to blow up Fort Fisher has failed. Maybe it's not his fault, it's David Dixon Porter, who is also partially responsible for the failures on the 24th, where his bombardment does little damage. Now Butler is furious with Porter. His attack has lost all surprise, and the enemy will contest his landing. Christmas comes, and for some lucky soldiers, their gift is a small boat and a reconnaissance mission. They successfully capture a rebel battery, but the assault is called off, Butler deeming the possible battle too costly. The failure spreads amongst the public, and Lincoln asks Grant what happened.
The Wilmington expedition has proved a gross and culpable failure. Who is to blame, I hope will be known.
The blame is given to Butler, and he will be removed from command. His Democratic lineage no longer needed after the election. General Ord is selected to take over. Of course, military politics isn't a Union issue alone. General Edmund Kirby Smith, who commands the Trans-Mississippi Department, receives a letter from Davis, deeply regretting the absence of his men from Hood's Tennessee disaster. Davis receives an even more interesting letter. Not from his men, but from Francis Preston Blair Sr., the influential political advisor, asking to visit the Confederate capital.
To explain the views I entertain in reference to the state of the affairs of our country.
You might wonder what the heck that means, and in truth, it doesn't matter. This is just an official reason to make a trip with the unofficial goal of organizing a peace conference. Sickles time, he journeys down to D.C., as if to make his pleas for command in person. Of course, whenever the hero of Columbia comes to town, interesting hijinks is not far off. That's where the week ends, and what a crummy way to end a great year. Yes, I'm ignoring the 31st. It didn't start the best with the failures at Olusti and Red River, but with the promotion of Grant and the destruction of rebel regiments and killing of Confederate commanders, it soon became clear this year would take the victories of '63 and exploit them. The West crumbled before federal forces, and the battered army of Northern Virginia failed to recover from Gettysburg. And of course, as the year went on, any hope for Confederate victories failed, Atlanta, Mobile, and the election securing Lincoln's leadership. '64 has made sure that '65 will be the final year of war. Hi, it's Jonathan Teagan, the entire Civil War Week by Week team here. And it is true we are entering the final year. There's only a little over 24 videos left. And I hope to see you each and every week. Thank you, and have a great new year.